Hi everyone, welcome back to the channeling series, and we will continue with the law of success. And today is the third law, which is law of emotional stability. All right. So when we think of success, right, what are the things that people have told us? Like, what are the things that actually, you know, are being fed to us throughout our lives based on what success is possible. For example, we've been told, if you study, if you go to college, or if you have certain scores, or if you have a certain number of I don't know, GPA, if you have this job, if you have this much money, right? People have told us so many things of how we can measure success, or in order for us to be successful, we need to have these things prior to that, right? But you've seen examples, right, of where people have been, I don't know, like they've gotten the best of GPAs, yet they are not successful, right? People who have had or who've invested a lot of money, yet they're not successful, right? People who've been to the best of, I don't know, universities, and even then they're not successful, right? So there are like so many examples that you've seen in your own life, and people again who've not had certain things that we think are necessary to be successful, yet even then they are successful, right? So what's the point? The point is that those factors do not really matter. This law of emotional stability is what is very important for anybody to be successful, right? Now, if things start happening in your life, like, if you're looking at long-term success, right? And if you think of like issues in your life, right? Things happening in your life, which by the way will keep happening, right? Life is all about going with the flow, ups and downs, right? Now, if there is something that happens and you freak out, right? Then what will happen? Like if suppose there is a lot of something good is happening and you're so excited that you start flying, right? Or if something really bad happens and you're so low that you completely drown, right? So if there are these changes that happen in your life that are very stark, then long term success is difficult, right? Emotional stability in whatever situation comes, meaning if there is a good news, you okay, you feel good, but then you're again back to being grounded. If there is a bad news, okay, you feel low, but then again you come back to being grounded, right? That's where success can be maintained, and that's a beautiful recipe for success, right? Because what happens is, if you are not, if there is a turmoil, if there is this tsunami of emotions within you, right, that you keep constantly reacting to every situation in your life, what will happen is, you'll, every time you're frustrated, you will end up creating impulsive, you'll take impulsive decisions, right? Every time you're feeling insecure, you'll start comparing yourself with other folks, right? And every time you're anxious, your patience, right, in every situation will go down. So when your emotions are scattered, the probability of you being successful also goes down, right? Because scattered energy is creating scattered reality, right? So it's very important for you to look for ways in which you can feel emotionally stable, emotionally grounded, right? Becoming a person who is not a slave to your emotional to your emotions, basically. That's what will bring you, or that's what will take you to success, right? So being able to actually consciously control your emotions, right? And when I say control, I actually mean awareness, being aware of what you're feeling, right? It's not like somebody said something to you and that's it. The whole day goes into, or even months, years, right? People spend years um, thinking about, certain conversations, thinking about certain relationships, right? Not being able to confront, not being able to talk, and not being able to digest those emotions, but constantly simmering in it, right? And we know, I mean, that's another topic altogether. What happens when emotions are not well digested? Our physical body suffers ultimately, but here we're talking about success, right? Success also starts evading us because there are so many things that are within our body that need attention, right? That our focus on success actually gets tarnished. Yeah. So then what helps us bring that emotional stability, right? All sorts of tools that I've already mentioned, right? EFT, chanting, meditation, breathing exercises, right? All of that will help you create emotional stability within you, right? So that issues on the outside do not affect you to the extent that you lose your, sense of control, or you then become a slave of your emotions and then you keep marinating in it. No, you're supposed to come out of it. Yes, be aware of that emotion. Okay, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. Acknowledge it, right? Bring it to your awareness. The moment you bring it to awareness, you actually start to stabilize. You take your power back from that emotion, right? And you know how sometimes we think of, this person said this to me, I don't know how I'm feeling, but I don't feel good, right? So there is this ambiguity of, I don't know how I'm feeling, but I'm not feeling good. And instead of investigating that and going deeper into that and acknowledging that emotion, we keep running away from it because it's not comfortable. And that ambiguity follows us, right? We're not able to even have a good relationship with that person, plus we're constantly living with this ambiguity, right? And I'm sure a lot of this happens with a lot of you, right? But what are you, in those moments, it's important for us to actually sit, maybe even journal, right? To understand what happened. Am I feeling insecure? Am I feeling hurt? And why am I feeling hurt? Because this person said this, and so then this means that I feel like I am buying their story, or what they said was actually true. And okay, if they said this is true, then I can work on myself, right? Maybe I'm feeling bad because I also believe in their story, right? Whatever it is, that's another whole, somatic journey that I can make a video on. But for you to be aware of, what those emotions are and bringing it to surface. The moment you bring it to surface, you'll start healing. Yeah. And when, and we feel like this is a very small thing in the larger scheme of things, but when you start bringing these emotions to the surface with every conversation, with every you know interaction in your whole day, you will actually start seeing that, oh my God, there are so many emotions that come up, and there are so many emotions that we completely do not even acknowledge, right? And they're just simmering in us. So when we start acknowledging it, when we start bringing it to the surface, and when we start releasing it that way, you'll feel there is so much space in your nervous system, there is so much clarity, right? And that energy and that space is what will create success in your life. And that's why emotional stability is a must when it comes to any kind of success in your life. Yeah. So I hope this message resonated with all of you. I will be back tomorrow with another message. Signing off, Anisha Dutt from Zarya Links.